Hello, and welcome to the Black Bridge Mindset Podcast, where culture, entrepreneurship, and business intersect to fuel inspiration. This podcast celebrates the power of diverse voices shaping the future of business. So, whether you're building a business, breaking barriers, or just looking for some serious inspiration, you're in the right place. The Black Bridge Mindset, where culture and entrepreneurship collide.
Happy, what is it, Tuesday?
And
We've literally recorded how many? One, two,
this is number
three,
5.
4. Yeah, this is number 5. We recorded like 5 episodes within a week and a half, which is like crazy.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Especially thinking that we started this not knowing what the hell we were doing. We had absolutely nothing. We didn't have cameras. We didn't have microphones. We didn't have anything. And here we are recording our 5th episode of the Black Bridge Mindset. So welcome everybody. If you're just tuning in, my name is Mike Lovett and I am here with 2 of my best friends, CJ and Ken. We are all in 3 different cities. My city is the best, by the way. I am in Chicago, Illinois, and CJ is in Columbus, Ohio, and Ken Peak is in Atlanta, Georgia. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. And first of all, I don't appreciate you 2 using my full government name. I understand
Why? Who's
because
looking
it's
for
2
you?
one-syllable words, but still, that's not the point.
That's just the way I'm used to saying your name.
I know.
Right.
Everybody does. Everybody does. That's all good.
What would you prefer to be
Unless you
called?
annoy me
Your
and
nick-
say Kenneth.
What?
Would you prefer we
I
call
don't
you by
have
your
one of those.
nickname?
Now, if you want, listen,
mean,
I don't
you're
have one of those,
several.
but if you want to get into this conversation, we certainly can.
This is not the time or the place. Trust me.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Okay.
Y'all are crazy. I know we just spoke a couple days ago, but our W-2s are crazy. It's 65 here, I think, or 69, or a little bit higher,
And
something like
this-
that. It's almost 70 degrees in Chicago, so I'm excited.
That's what
Well,
it
I
is
mean,
here.
for it to be the best city, it's like 75 degrees here. It's a beautiful day. So you might want to rethink that.
I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
and where are you? Look, you left work
In
and then you
Atlanta.
back at work, so you won't get to enjoy any of that
So-
75 degrees. So you can go on and eat that.
But I will once I get out of here. That's the goal, is to be
Mhm.
done here, change my clothes, head outside,
And
hit the
look,
belt
I
line.
can't tell a 75.
what?
You sitting there in a gold LeMay thermal.
Correct. Listen, I got to get the people what they need. Okay, that's exactly what this is all
That's
about.
what they-
Look, we'll take a poll on YouTube because people can't see you on Apple or Spotify. We'll
Good
put a little
old
poll
flesh
like, is this
tone,
what y'all want?
top.
This what y'all need?
Listen,
Well, look at me.
things are good. You know, actually, I was chatting with my sister today at lunchtime, and I was saying, like, we were talking about, we're doing a family vacation in Montego Bay, and I was like, now's the time to start thinking about like what's going on, like, for the summer, and I'm really looking forward to, us all spending some time together. I know we're going to go see say in May in Chicago, so I'm really excited for that. I got the family vacation in June, and then we're headed, abroad in late August. I might even be going up to Cape Town, to Provincetown,
Of
with Bruce
course.
earlier that month, but we'll see. Yeah, and then actually, my college roommate is on his second marriage, and is getting married in Lake Tahoe, I think around the time that we actually get back from Greece. So I'll probably be extending my vacation and heading out there.
Where is
so
Lake
I'm looking
Tahoe?
forward to California. It's a few hours from Vegas, so it's right on the border of California and Nevada.
In the summer.
It would be, yeah, well, I guess late summer, early fall.
Look, don't fall for what these people say about dry heat. Hot is hot. I'm just
Y'all gonna be
saying.
in suits, just
Right. That's
sweating,
right.
makeup melting.
And look,
That's
you know
right.
you sweat eating hot sauce. So what you gonna do out in 110-degree weather?
Listen, this is why I work hard, because I can be in air conditioning. You hear me? I ain't got to be out in the elements like this.
Okay.
So
When they tell you they having it on the beach somewhere, or in the desert somewhere.
there is
Exactly.
no beach in Lake Tahoe.
I meant
That's why it's
desert.
called Lake Tahoe. I understand that you went to the Paducah Public School, but there is something called
Remember what I
comprehension.
said about time and place?
Yeah, you didn't have to call them out in Publix like that.
I'm proud of where I'm from. Forget y'all.
All right, let's get
What?
started.
Yes, let's do that. Besides, I'm pretty much over the moon about today's show anyway. Who would have thought this time last year, number one, that I'd be co-hosting a podcast with two of the craziest people on the face of the earth, but I'd also be interviewing someone that I've known since they were pretty much a baby. You could pinch me 1,000 times, and I could never have written this. This person that we will be interviewing this evening, I've had the pleasure of knowing forever, pretty much her whole life. She's always had this larger than life personality. She's an absolute sweetheart. Today, we are nestled at the intersection of culture and entrepreneurship with one of the best people I know outside of YouTube. She is the owner and creative director of Chicago-based floral design company, the Sunniest Designs. The Sunniest Designs specializes in events and personal deliveries for weddings, special events, and floral design classes. The Sunniest Designs has been featured in Modern Luxury Weddings, Chicago Magazine, Chicago Style Weddings, and Mona Lychee Bride. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the table tonight Miss Sunny Jackson. Hello, hello.
Welcome to the
Thank you
show.
guys.
Hello.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here. My Uncle Chris. I cannot believe it's been going on 29 years, right?
You would look, how old are you?
I'll be 29 in July.
There you go.
hmm
Who would have thunk it? Wow.
I know. It's so good to be here though. I love the space that you guys have created. I love like you guys' mission and what you're trying to do. It's an honor to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you for
and
joining
thank
us.
you. Your name definitely matches you because you, from the moment you hit the camera, you were smiling, and I'm like,
Yeah.
her name matches her. She is Sunny. I love it.
Oh, thank you guys. Don't gas me up too much. It might go to my head. My head's already like huge and round basketball size, so don't blow me up too big.
Oh, well, let's get started. Go ahead, CJ. And
All right, well, let's just jump right in there. First question I have, and I've seen it from your um, website, but can you tell us what inspired you to start the Sunniest Designs?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is kind of a long story, but I've always been a creative girl with like a STEM background. So in high school, I tested out of like all of my calculus. I was in honors physics, honors chemistry. So really big on like math and science to the point where like mom swore I was going to be an engineer. She swore I was going to go to like MIT or something, you know?
Or design
Right. But so I ended up landing on film. It kind of blends creativity and technicality. You learn to have like an eye for form and shape and movement and space, which all helps with floristry. So I migrated to Chicago to go to DePaul University for film. And I ended up with a part-time job working for an event planner here just to make some extra cash because living in school as a student is, not cheap. So I learned a little bit about like floristry and the event world, especially in Chicago. I feel it's such an industry, whereas like in Columbus, it's not as big of an industry. So yeah, I learned the ropes from there and really, really like latched onto floristry.
Nice. And who were some of your influences?
Like style wise, or as far as like entrepreneurship?
Well, entrepreneurship, and then also this that kind of guided you into this floral world, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question. I guess they are absolutely amazing. And I kind of really got like a grasp on floristry from them, mainly through YouTube, social media. Mm-hmm.
nice. And how did you come up with the name of your company?
Well,
It is pretty
I'm
obvious.
Sunny. I'm Sunny.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I'm Sunny and I design. So And I designed
Or I didn't
flowers.
know if there was like, sometimes you create your name is Sunny and you do designs, but you may have been like, oh, and there's flowers and all these things are incorporated into it. So I just didn't know if there was more of just your name because my last name is Lovett and I went to Ohio University. And when I created an email back in the day, it's Oh You Love It. I didn't think anything about it. So when people were like, how did you come up with that? It wasn't because my name is Lovett. And I mean, it's because my name was Lovett and I went to OU, but I didn't think of like, oh, you love it. Like, and people had to tell me and I was like, oh my God, there's more to it than what it
How did
is.
you not
So I
hear
just
that
didn't know if there was,
out loud?
what do you say?
How did you not catch that if you said it out loud?
Right.
Because I said it in my mind, CJ. I didn't say it out loud. I was just like, Ohio University, love it. So let me just use the initials. And then it wasn't until I gave it to someone and I think I said it out loud. She was like, what's your email address? I said, oh, you love it at, I think it was like bobcat.net or something crazy back then. And she was like, oh, that's such a cool name. And I was like, what? She was like, oh, you love it? And I was like, oh, that is a cool name. It's all by mistake. But anyway, back to you.
But you know,
So you,
sometimes it is cooler when like you hear it, like you think something is so simple, but like other people will take it, be like, oh, like that was the coolest thing ever. That's so awesome though.
yeah. So my mind went straight to like, flowers need sunlight. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
That's
in
how.
that case,
That's true.
I'm like, in that case, I would be the sunlight, right?
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
What's
The
your
sun is
thing?
bringing the sun. I got it.
Okay.
I love it.
I'm-
So I'm stealing some of your questions, CJ. Sorry, but
Okay.
can you tell us, during this journey of starting your business, you sort of told us a little bit, but what were some of the biggest challenges you had going into business in general?
Honestly, the biggest challenge is probably myself, imposter syndrome, not realizing my worth in the beginning.
Mhm.
Honestly, I feel like if I could go back 6 years and you're like, okay, you're about to start this thing, it might be hard, but I need you to like put on those blinder glasses. Don't look at anybody, look straight ahead, Um,
Hmm.
you you really have to know the value of what you bring to your community. It is so, so important. So when you are, no one can tell me anything about flowers. I love flowers and flowers love me back. That's all that can be said. And if, yeah, just get over that hurdle of questioning yourself, thinking, am I enough? Am I going to get accepted? Is going to get 100 likes on Instagram? Is this person going to like me when I walk in this room? You got to get over that. Be yourself. You are authentically you. You are loved. You are worthy of taking up space. So just get over yourself, essentially.
Well,
Nice.
with your
Yeah.
Well,
personality, why would you ever think that somebody wouldn't like you?
But I mean, don't we all have that little voice? In actuality, like, yeah, I'm a pretty easygoing girl. I'm cool to talk to, but like everyone has that little voice of like, well, what if this, or what if this goes
Mhm.
wrong, or what if I accidentally say the wrong thing? Like, you kind of have to just push yourself forward positively and switch that. Be like, okay, but what if I say the right thing? What if I meet the right person today? Or what if what I do today really makes an impact on this person's life and they talk about it for years and years to come? So you have to kind of spin it. You can play the what if game, but play it positively.
So can you
exactly.
tell us, like, and I don't know if I want to phrase this correctly, but can you tell the folks that are listening or watching, like, what were some of the things that you did to take those challenges head on, right, and get to that positive space that you were just talking about?
Oh, how to get there? Like we were just talking about it. Fake it, baby. Fake it. You have to do it scared sometimes. You're not gonna automatically come out the gate perfect. I mean, if you do, okay, like go out there, do it. Like, love that. But you have to, I don't know, sometimes you have to show up. And that saying, like, if you can't give 100%, give 80. If you can't give 80, give 60. You have to start showing up, and then showing up becomes easier. And then talking to new people becomes easier. So you take those baby steps, start doing the things that are a little bit uncomfortable so you can get yourself familiar with them, and that fear will kind of go away.
Man, that's
Love
true.
that.
It's amazing.
Out of curiosity, and I hope I'm not being too much in your business. Um, so you said you started 6 years ago, which I didn't even realize you've been doing it that long. Congratulations. Um,
Thank you.
when you, I guess, got things going out the gate, what was, from a financial standpoint, can you let our listeners know what you did to get established? Like, did you put up all the money yourself? Did you take out a loan? Did how did you finance your business?
100% self-funded. So we kind of like got our footing right as COVID hit. I had my very, very, very first event was a floral bar for like a co-working office downtown in Chicago. Um, and then 2-3 weeks later, complete shutdown. Like we were not going outside anymore. So um, I just kind of rolled with the punches, I mean, as we all did. We all kind of had that like, oh, we were in denial for a little bit. Oh, we'll be back in 2 weeks. It's cool. It's fine.
Mhm.
And then after like that fourth, fifth week, you're like, "Rah." Like when, what are we going to do? Especially like the flowers, like events are our bread and butter, like that's our entire thing. And if people aren't gathering, what can we do? So, man, the power of pivot. So I was like, okay, we're missing each other. We can't go see each other. I started doing like little $25 flower grams. That's what I call them. Just delivering them throughout this like a color palette, and I'll take it to you. And sometimes people would write like little notes. I would share those little notes, those things that people would like to say to their people. And I would even have people from out of state that have loved ones in Chicago ordering to send to people in Chicago. So you just kind of have to figure it out. But yeah, self-funded. I would say the first year probably put in at least like $5,000 of my own money to get
Yeah.
started. And that is not just like the materials and things that I need to work. That is like getting my car repaired to make those deliveries,
Right.
that is like making my way to like make connections with those wholesalers and applying for those licenses that I need to get in there. So a lot of it was self-funded over the course of time. You don't have to have it all right now. Do what you can with what you got. Do the best you can with what you have. I was using scissors until I could get real floral shears. So it can be done with what you have. You just kind of have to be creative.
Right. I love that you used the word pivot, and you talked through how you got creative in order to make the business work. Because sometimes, there's barriers, and a lot of new entrepreneurs, something will happen like COVID, and they're like, you know what, this is a sign, I need to give up, even though I love this thing. So when you had to pivot and be creative, was it an easy process for you, or was it something you had to take a pause and like, how am I going to figure this out?
Oh, it's definitely a pause moment, especially like with COVID. We had no idea which way that was going to swing, which way the gate was going to swing on that. But I kind of just took a leap. And I'm very spiritual. I'm a very spiritual girl. So when you feel the universe calling you to do something, you don't ignore it, especially if it's like a really strong pull. Like you hear it multiple times in different ways. Like you'll see a commercial, someone has flowers. You'll see someone walking down the street, someone has flowers. Like there's a lot of things that remind you this is what you're supposed to be doing. So once you realize, okay, this is my lane, what can I do to make this lane work for me? The pivot kind of comes easily, but until you kind of have that actualization, it's hard. Growing is hard. and it can be painful too. So definitely not easy.
But how did that, I guess my question is also, how did you come up with the new idea? Did you put like pieces of paper in a hat and throw it in there? Did you have a big whiteboard and you start like drawing up stuff? Did you look in magazines and start cutting out papers and putting on what was your like creative process to be like, let's do flowergrams? Like, how did you end up to that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a big lover girl. I'm an empath. So seeing the I miss my friends, the I wish that I could go have dinner with, my aunts and my uncles, like seeing that and trying to find a way to bridge that gap between people who miss each other and want to connect maybe in a creative way, in a way that can stay around for a long time. We do love snail mail, but flowers just kind of they ground
Mhm.
you. They're beautiful. And I could go on all day about how pretty flowers are. Like, don't get me on a tangent. But basically seeing where there's a gap, seeing a problem that could be solved or a way to make something better is how most pivots begin for me. Like solving for X. We love calculus.
Perfect. I mean, I sort of knew the answer, but I'm happy that you answered it that way. You saw a problem and you provided a solution.
Mm.
Awesome.
And you,
So can you talk about the beginning and kind of when you got started? What was your approach to getting business? Right, because I think that's one of the things that a lot of folks who are listening, want to better understand. Like, what was your approach to getting new business, to getting your name out there?
how did you market yourself?
Yeah, I love marketing. So I guess in the beginning, it was a big social media game, big on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And I think around that time, like TikTok was kind of like just getting its footing. I didn't really mess around with it too much. But Instagram, I would say, is probably where I make like 85% of my sales, or 85% of my clients come from Instagram. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Again, you never know who's watching. 1,000 people were sitting in front of your face right now with like a fistful of money, like, please let me buy your product. You would be overwhelmed. Those 1,000 people, you could have landed 100 new clients. So don't look at it as like a vibe. Look at it as I'm looking for organic leads. I want to connect with people who align with the vision of my business or my product. And don't be afraid to, put yourself out there.
Very good.
You've kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm curious, with you living in Chicago, um, and there's florists everywhere. And with that market, I'm sure being as large as it is, with your use of social media, well, clearly you're driving customers to yourself that way. But I'm curious for people that are out there listening and those that, have the desire to get into something that's kind of saturated. What sets the Sonia Designs apart from other florists in Chicago?
I mean, yes, there are a lot of great florists, and a lot of us are like really well connected. We're good friends, by the way. But what sets us apart is our genuine love. And I know that a lot of people say that, like, yes, we love what we do, but like love for my clients as humans going through an experience. As a bride myself this year, it has been a learning, eye-opening experience. I really do pride myself on being not so easygoing, but easy to work with. A lot of my clients, when they do end up deciding on me, because obviously it's a wedding, we're shopping around, they end up deciding on me. The reason that I get the most is, well, Sonny, you actually took the time to like talk with us and answer our questions, and you laughed at our jokes, and like our cat was doing something weird, and you put your cat on the screen and you said hi. Like, it's one of those, like, I want to be your friend. I want this experience to be, I don't want you to forget it. This is your wedding. Ideally, we're doing this one time, right? So this has got to be like the experience for you. And so that's what I pride myself on. And I think that's what makes us a little bit different from the competition out there.
I like that you said that. It sounds like you try to make it even more personal than what the occasion actually is.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm like, I
Mhm.
want to connect. I want to be your friend. I want to know how you met your fiance. I want to know what you and your mom cooked for Sunday dinner. I want to know all of that. Tell me all the things.
Right. Nice.
So, out of
Well,
curiosity, I'm sorry,
uh-huh.
Mike. Okay,
No, go
out
ahead.
of curiosity, you just brought that up. Um, First of all, congratulations. You are engaged to be married, and I know that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I didn't tell you guys
Yeah.
that, but yeah, your mom just threw that on me one day out of nowhere. But knowing that, now you are actually kind of on the other side of the camera, how has that affected your thought process and your approach to your designs?
Oh man, it's kind of rewired my brain a little bit. Um, Being a bride is such an emotional experience, and I feel like vendors are kind of counting on that. But at, I feel like there's a balance between the business part and the personal part, and I feel like a lot of people are taking the business part a little too seriously and kind of forgetting why you got into this industry in the first place. Because the wedding industry it's so specific and it's so niche. Like you really have to love it to knit. Um, I feel like all of us kind of need to be reminded of why we started in the first place. So, man, being a bride, talking to, the caterers and the DJs, and before I decided that I was going to do my own flowers, other florists too, to see if that was a route that I wanted to take. But I mean,
You're
I'm a
doing your own
perfectionist.
flowers?
Okay, but
I
listen,
didn't wanna
it's
I didn't
not
wanna skip past that. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you.
I'm
You're the
laughing because
bride
I was
and you're
going to
doing
ask the
your
same
own
thing.
flowers?
okay. So
What?
it's not. I know, and everyone is like, so I'm
You
doing
open
it
the can of
in.
worms.
I know, and everyone's like poking me with like spears right now. It's not as busy as y'all are gonna think it is.
Uh-huh. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Well, I'll leave it alone. You're the expert, you know what you're doing, but I just, like, my skin crawled for a second. I was like, "Ooh, ooh,
Right.
she gonna be busy and" oh,
Right.
Well,
oh,
okay. Off script, we're gonna be doing like live plants, so it's gonna be a lot of like soil based stuff. It won't be anything that I have to like design a lot of.
Mm.
So I'm really focusing on my bouquet and Bryson's boutonniere. I'm designing something very, very special for him. Not to say I don't like a traditional boutonniere, but for a groom, like we go all out for a bride. You know what I'm saying? For a
mhm,
groom, the
Let's do
same
the stage show
energy
up.
needs to be kept. Okay? The
Yeah.
same energy. So you want like a huge lapel sash, like let's do it. You want to feel kingly on your wedding day? Yeah. I'm your
mhm.
girl. Talk to me.
All right. I
Oh,
need all the
that's awesome.
photos.
So are you just designing and overseeing the execution, or are you designing and executing?
I am designing and executing up until day of the wedding. Day of the wedding, someone else will be setting that up.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, I'll be getting hair and makeup and like all the
Yeah.
pretty things. So
Mhm.
I know that was like the major, like, so when are you gonna get ready? I know that was the concern, but I've planned for that. We got a team. They'll they'll take care of it. I got faith. It'll work.
Okay. Alright. I listen, I got all the faith in you.
Right.
I've seen the pictures on Instagram and on Facebook and everything always looks spot on, so
Thank
I
you.
yeah, I'm sure your day will be amazing.
Yeah, well,
I have a question I wanna ask you, but I don't wanna ask this question following up this conversation, so I'm gonna let Ken ask a question, and then I'm gonna ask my question, and you'll understand why when I ask my question.
okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to dig in a little bit more into the business, and what I want to, I guess, better understand what is your process with your clients. Like, what do you? I know you said before you want to meet them on a personal level. So I guess maybe as an example, have you ever met someone and they came up to you and you're like, this is what I'm thinking, but as you got to know them, you're like, nah, that's not it. Like this is kind of based on your personality. I think this is probably more of what will shine at your event.
Oh yeah. I mean, we get that all the time. And I feel like the world of flowers is kind of not necessarily unknown, but a lot of people know a lot about it. Like, yeah, we know our roses, our lilies, our carnations, right? But when it comes to like things like installations, I mean, the first time I told my mom about installation, she's like, what is that?
I'm
So
about to ask that question.
like, what's an installation? It's when you make a structure out of flowers or any type of, so like I'll put
So like
flowers
a
on the
funeral,
ceiling. So like what?
like a funeral.
Better
Yeah, I
than a
said it, a
funeral.
funeral.
Think bigger though. Think
What
bigger.
about like an arch at the altar?
Okay,
Exactly.
that
So
too.
that's a form of installation. That too. Like, think
I'm
bigger.
gonna
We'll
fight you, I
do,
swear.
There's that Paducah again.
Right.
I said what I said.
and we're okay. We understand. Listen, we know what you talk about. But I mean, we'll do stuff off the ceiling. We'll adhere stuff to walls, to furniture, to you name it. I have probably put flowers on it or adhered to that. Um, so that's where the whole engineering and STEM stuff comes in. Yep. Measuring materials, getting all of that stuff, getting like a full structurally sound design together before you put the creative and pretty on it. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I went off on such a tangent. What was your original question, Ken?
No.
Yeah.
You got. I was just asking like what your approach was whenever you were dealing with clients, and I guess ex- helping them to express what it is that they want, while also being as creative as you possibly can.
Oh, yeah. So I like to treat every event kind of like its own unique branding story. So like every couple is different, even down to like the corporate clients. Every corporation has a different vision or goal for their event. So I'm a listening ear. I'm like, you tell me everything that you think that you want, and then we can go from there. So I let them kind of get it all out, tell me everything. And then from there, I'm like, okay, are we to a specific type of flower? Does anything mean anything to you? Have any like special meaning? I know some people, a lot of ladies choose lilies to represent like grandmothers, like matriarchal figures. But other than that, I ask what their priorities are. So, do you want your hay to be the best? Do you want your installation to be the best? Do you want your table centerpieces to be the best? Like, if you could only, obviously, you're not only one thing, but if you could only get one thing and put flowers on it for your whole entire wedding, what would it be? So, I know what needs to be perfect, right? And so I know what I feel comfortable. Do you want them to be like, this is the main character moment? Like what kind of feelings do you want to invoke? And then from there, we'll get into colors, textures. I kind of work backwards. I go big picture and then kind of minimize it down.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Well, now I'll ask my question since it's more appropriate after that question. So, sunny, not every day can be sunny. You're going to have a cloud in there every once in a while. It's going to storm. You like what I did there? What is one mistake you made that taught you a valuable lesson?
A mistake that taught me a valuable lesson. I feel like I touched on it a little bit earlier, but undervaluing myself. But to elaborate on that, when you undervalue yourself, the community also undervalues you. So my mom always says you teach people how to treat you. And she's told me that since I was like a little girl. So if you come out the gate shy, timid, I don't really know what I'm worth, the community is going to take advantage of that. They're going to get what they want from you at whatever price they want just because you want to get the work done, you know? So at a point, and obviously like the whole COVID thing had to do with that. So yeah, my biggest mistake is definitely not taking the time to really assess what charges needed to be included, what to take into account. Like when you start, think of things like event insurance, you know? You don't think of things like the ceremony and the reception are in two completely different places. I have to pay for the truck. I have to load up the truck, spend the mileage on the truck, and get it to the second location. So there are a lot of things that you don't necessarily consider. So yeah, the biggest mistake is definitely not knowing my value. And please, please do market research. If you're going into an industry, please, 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 please be familiar with your industry, look things up, see what other companies are doing, your potential competitors, see what they're offering, see what their price points are, so that you know how to market yourself competitively, and so that you are also,
The self-worth, of what you're bringing to the market. But you didn't let that stop you. You just there and do it. And that's what you did. So, and that's how you got here 6 years later, killing it.
You just got to keep moving forward. You can't let stuff stop you.
Yeah.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's one of those things you have to commit. You have to commit and see it through.
Right. Love it.
So, Sonny, you mentioned that you work with wholesalers, and I'm curious with the large quantities of flowers that you deal with on a regular basis. Talk about forming some of those relationships with those wholesalers, and what things you've done to get through. I know the economy is probably affecting you like it is everybody else. How'd you set up those relationships in the beginning so that you're successful in the back end?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And the importance of those relationships.
Yeah. Honestly, my reps, I love my rep. I love, love, love them. When I first started trying to get into those wholesale markets, I don't know, the flower markets, right? They kind of give you when you first get in, they give you here's a random salesperson, right? And there's a bunch of them. You can see them, you can interact with them whenever you go. So when I first went, I just kind of introduced myself, started asking questions. Where are things? Let it be known that this is your first time there. They're going to be so happy to help you. And I know that's not just true for the flower markets, but for anywhere, whatever your industry is. Hey, this is my first time at this market. I would love to know what the happenings are here. What do y'all got? So instead of just of course you can always order online, right? And while I do take advantage of that, I would say make sure you form those relationships first, because they will tend to help you out in areas where you didn't even know that you needed help. So trying to think specific ways, just go talk to them, go show up in person, go talk to them. Jose, my guy at my wholesaler, love him. We've been working together the entire time. He's been my rep. I have not switched. I'm loyal to Jose. That is my guy. He always gets it done for me. He's the
It's
best.
the relationship you built.
It is. And he knows every time that if there is something wrong with an order, it's not your rep's fault. There's issues on the trucks, there's issues on the farms. You just kind of have to, remember that everyone around you is a human as much as you are. Be kind, be understanding, but also stand up for yourself. If something's wrong, it's okay to say that, but there's a right way to say it. Yeah, just get to know your folks, because they low-key want to get to know you too. Everyone wants a friend. Make a friend.
Nice.
Ever been a time when the wholesaler didn't have what you needed and you kind of had to scramble or pivot? Can you kind of just talk the audience through that particular scenario and kind of what you did, in order to not alienate the relationship, right? And kind of how things turned out.
If I told you how often things don't work out with flower farms and wholesalers, you wouldn't believe it. Almost I would say 50% of the time, something is going to go wrong with your order. 50% of the time, Murphy's Law, count on it. Okay. So that is why we always order. Brought to you by coffee. But going back to the wholesalers, things go wrong all the time. You write white roses, they're not on here. He'll be like, oh, we're out of the Playa Blancas, which is probably one of my favorite white roses. But here are our options for substitutions. So always be open to a sub. The job done at the end of the day. And sometimes you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So that's why making those relationships is key. If you have access to multiple wholesalers and you have multiple people on your team, it makes things a lot easier. It makes finding things a lot easier.
Are you transparent with your customers up front about plan B and plan C?
Oh, yeah, totally, totally. And it's also in our contracts as well. We're very transparent about the fact that flowers are a perishable product. We are working with a very, very tight window to do these things. And flowers are a natural product from Mother Earth herself. You can't control the hue of a color. You can't control the size of a head of a flower, like what nature gives you to work with. So Pinterest will get brides in trouble. Pinterest will get brides in trouble. We do love Pinterest. That's our girl. But to a bride, go to the grocery store flower section and see and feel like what those flowers are doing. Feel how delicate they are and how easy or how difficult they are to work with. They are. Brides are surprised. Their bouquets can end up being like 10 pounds. You're holding that all day, So, yeah.
10 pounds.
Trying to think of the original question. I'm going off on so many tangents right now. You guys,
no,
you're
sorry.
fine.
Great.
Yeah, no, you're answering it 100%. Yeah. So a lot of people, when they think about business and starting a business, all they think about is work, right? How do you manage your work-life business? I mean, you've been doing it for 6 years, so you probably have it a little bit more figured out. But yeah, how's your work-life balance with your business?
Now it is amazing. You have to kind of set those boundaries with yourself. When I first started, 24 hours a day. If I was awake and my eyes were open, I was on Instagram. I was marketing myself. I was, reaching out to people that I could partner with. I was on my computer, team typing very fast all the time, every waking moment of every day. But if you do that, it leads to burnout so fast, faster than people want to admit. Like if you go like that consistently, you won't last a year. You won't. You have to kind of like take you away and remind you that, hey, life is bigger than work. I like to game. I like to read. I like to color. You're so much more than your occupation. Like, yes, working hard is important and we need to work hard to meet our goals. But if you don't take your time to rest, your body will pick it for you and it will be very, very inconvenient when it does. So
Right.
find your life's palate cleansers is what I like to call them.
Nice.
I like that.
You like the game, but when you say game, what do you mean by game?
Well, we
What game do you-
PlayStation, Switch. We've got I'm looking at 7 different gaming consoles right now, like PlayStation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you play Call of Duty at all?
I'm not a Call of Duty girl. I'm not, but
I was
I know
hoping that was the
don't
thing.
say yes.
Tonight.
I'm not. But I could learn real fast, and I could learn enough to be a problem. So
Bring it on, problem. Bring it on.
okay, I'm give me a week to get my skills up, and I'll hit you up. Don't worry.
Ready. I'm always ready.
So I have a bonus question, and this is the kind of, for my knowledge, I'm just curious. With you being in the floral game, if you will, how hectic and what is it like around Valentine's Day or Sweetest Day?
Man, Valentine's Day. It's one of those. I'm like, I salute every florist who has been through Valentine's Day and made it out the other side. It's one of those entire floors covered in thorns and leaves and it got to a point where I'm just like, well, how can I make Valentine's Day work for me and me not have to work as hard,
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I love those personal orders. I love them. But I cannot, one girl, I cannot do 100 of them by myself. And but at the same time, I'm able to reach just about the same amount of people with things like flower bars. I did a flower bar for a corporate company. They do like a monthly happy hour. And I did a flower bar for them, like 175-ish people. And y'all know what a flower bar is, right?
I was just about to say,
I was going to ask you. No
what's a
idea.
flower bar?
I'm like, I get so used to using the jargon. Sorry. My mom says I have to get better about that. So a flower bar, I basically bring, let's say like 10 to 12 different types of flowers and greenery. We arrange them all like by type. So they're all in like their own little buckets, cute little buckets. And I kind of walk people through the process of picking flowers that go good together, getting them comfortable with building their own bouquet, and they walk away with something to take home, give to their loved ones, keep for themselves.
Nice.
So I'm able to reach a lot of people in a short amount of time that way. So I'm able to like maximize it, but still kind of do the same thing where I reach a lot of people.
That's smart.
Nice.
That's great. That's ingenious.
Oh yeah.
Flower
Like
bar.
what?
Nice
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
cool.
how can we do the same thing, but like it takes 2 hours instead of 20?
There you go.
I see what you're doing. You're having people build their own bouquets and take them home.
But I'll still walk you through it. I'll still show you how to make it look really nice. I've got wrapping paper. I've got ribbons. I've got note card stations with like Sharpies and stickers and like glitter pens. Like you can go all out, but I don't have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, people love those, right? There's so many businesses that do it if you think about it. Like the candle lab, you go make your own candle. The paint and sip, whatever, you go and you paint your own picture. So why not in floral, in the floral world?
And it brings people like, it allows people to exercise those creative skills that don't often always get to do that. Like this company, it's not to say that it's not creative, but the headquarters that I was at is very much a headquarters. There's like the tech people, the customer service people, the marketing team, and all of that. So they don't often get to exercise their creativity in this way. So I was able to not only bring a smile to so many people, but get them thinking about an art of some sort, breaking them out of that every day I'm on the computer in an office type of thing.
I love that. Nice.
Gentlemen, it looks like we are coming up on time, but I have one last question from myself that I want to ask. And it can be a throwaway, but I'm just curious if you could create an arrangement for a famous person, who would it be and why?
For one, only one?
Well, I mean, more than one if it's necessary.
Nope. This is gonna be tough. You get one.
Oh, okay. All right. Keke Palmer.
Okay. Why her?
Keke Palmer. She's such a girl's girl. She's such a light to people. She always brings that energy, and I feel like she deserves to be celebrated way, way, way more than she is. She is just, we love Keke. In this house, we love Keke, okay? Cousin Keke. I'm like, Keke, if you listening, girl, and you're in Chicago, hit me up. I got you. I'll make you the prettiest thing.
They have to find out a way to post this and tag her in it.
Yeah, that's it. We just post it and tag her in there and let her know what you just said. Of course.
Like,
Well, listen,
hey,
then I'm
Keke,
putting it out in the
my girl.
universe, and when the time comes, Sonny, I'm going to have you create an arrangement for Queen Latifah. My girl.
Please.
Just saying.
The queen? The queen?
The queen.
First he asked about a funeral, and now he said when the time comes. You're cut off.
That's okay. Funerals can be pretty too. That's okay. We love a celebration of life.
Yeah, but I don't think Latifah, I don't think that's not what she's expecting.
Okay. We're all about pivot. We can do multiple styles.
And his mind just pivoted to a place that it should not have.
He's so stupid. Well, we are coming close to time, and we don't want to, keep you on too long. So we're going to get to one of my favorite parts of the show where I get to do this.
I'm gonna
The
find one this weekend.
human soundboard or whatever you call it. We're gonna do a lightning round, and Mr. Ken, I won't say his last name or his full government name, is gonna ask you 5 questions, and we're gonna put a timer up on the screen because you are gonna have to answer these 5 questions in 1 minute. So don't get crazy and go off on a tangent. These are supposed to be lightning round questions.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Here we go.
Use that STEM mind.
I feel like you got this.
I 100% she's got this. 100%.
All right.
Alright.
So what I'm gonna do is I'll start the timer after Ken asks his first question, and then we'll go from there.
All right,
Okay,
Sonia, are
Family
you
Feud
ready?
style. Yeah, I'm like Family
Yeah.
Feud style. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. For vacation, beach or mountains?
Ooh, mountains.
Okay. Favorite food?
I love to eat pasta. Any kind of pasta with like a cream sauce.
Very good. Guilty pleasure?
It changes. Right now, I'm really into Epic the Musical. If you guys are fans of like Greek mythology, super cool.
Okay. A book or podcast that you would recommend to the audience?
Ooh. And again, I love like consuming things for fun, so I would recommend the Morbid podcast because I'm a morbid girl
Really?
sometimes. I like learning about weird things. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't expect that.
And lastly, what is your favorite flower?
And time. How could you? How could you
You got-
ask
you
a
got- go
florist that?
Answer it.
Ah. A zinnia.
Okay, so
I love
we're all
zinnias.
gonna have to look that up.
And
No.
no, we Google right now a zinnia.
We don't.
Zinnia.
We know what it's-
Zinna.
And that was gonna be my next question.
They are, as a matter of fact, you would wear one in your hair, Cookie. They're nice, big, bright,
Oh,
beautiful
those are
flowers.
cute. I like
Yeah,
those.
like hot
Look, my
pinks,
last
oranges.
name is not Ripperton. Q-Tip
We
is not
love Minnie,
sampling my
though.
music.
That's funny.
Y'all silly.
Well, this has been great. I've learned a lot about the floral industry that I never would have thought about, especially the behind the
Correct.
scene things.
Yeah.
You gave some nuggets in there for people who are looking to be business owners and entrepreneurs, and some things to think about in the beginning, especially with self-confidence and stepping out there and being their true self and taking imperfect action. So yeah, so I really appreciate you. And before we go, of course, you're going to have to let all the people know, how can they find you?
Yes, please find me. You can follow us on social media at The Sunniest Designs. Subscribe to us on our website at thesunniestdesigns.com. We'll be having some info on some educational classes coming out soon. Keep an eye out for Mother's Day. And yeah, follow us, like us, tell a friend.
I have a quick question. Do you ship out of state? Do you ship outside of Chicago?
Both flowers, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, my
And
mom's.
I'm sorry, you just said something. You said that you're going to have, did you say training, like virtual classes, or?
Yeah,
In
so
person.
kind of like an in-person flower class, yeah, for Mother's Day, hoping to do kind of like a mom and daughter, or like mom and kid type of arrangement making class. So I'll keep y'all
Oh, so
posted on the
it's-
date for that.
It's at the shop,
hmm
or is it virtual?
So it'll
Okay,
be
so
at
it's
a
at the
venue. Yeah, it'll be at a venue.
Okay, got it. 'Cause I was going to say, if it's virtual, we're going to provide the link and let everybody know how they could join.
Wow.
But here in Chicago,
Well,
You're
send us
in
the
the
information once
the
you have it
best
all set.
city. Yeah, I'll send it to you guys. But
can
we're
put
not
it on our
gonna
page.
pass up. Chicago is the best city. We're not.
I'm
We're
not going to
not- no
argue with
dispute.
you. I love Chicago too, and I love Atlanta. So I have no dog in this fight.
But listen, I'm going to leave it alone because I don't disagree. It is, but it's only the best city from May to August. So
You're right.
I don't know about that. We got the holiday train. We've got the rooftop igloos, you know. We've got the ice skating rink down at Millennium Park. Okay, don't play with us.
we got all of that here too.
Don't
nothing
don't
new.
play with us.
Look, I'm just gonna
You
step
can see
aside.
she's in the industry. She's like, "Oh, you want to come here and get married? You want my flowers? It's okay, I got you. We could do it on the train. We
Exactly.
could do it in an igloo. I got flowers that can hang out outside in the cold."
We've done flowers on a boat. We've done it on the city cruises. So, hey, we out
Nice.
here anywhere.
Sunny, we're having everybody who does an interview with us at the end of the show, they have to do a Wakanda peace pause. And what it is,
Look, she looked inquisitive, like, what the hell are you talking
I'm like,
about?
what's
As well you
this?
should. As well you should.
so yeah, so I was just randomly thinking one day, I was like, we need to do something that's like weird and different. You know, we did the lightning round, but a lot of people do the lightning round. So I just randomly came up with the Wakanda peace pause. And what it is at the end of the show, everyone, I'm going to count to 3 and everybody's going to do this. And you're just going to smile at the camera and just pause. And then we're just going to use that later. I'm just going to take a picture of it later and
Oh,
use it on
cute.
social media.
Cute.
It's
Okay,
your
I'm
thing.
ready.
Okay, you ready? I'm going to count to 3 and we're going to do the Wakanda peace pause. 1, 2, and 3. And good. All right. Perfect. Thank you. And I always hold it until it feels uncomfortable. I'm like, is this weird yet?
Right.
Weird. Well, again, I really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You've been great, Sunny.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so
Fantastic.
much for having me. Thank you so much. This was awesome.